Justin, what do you do for a living?
Well, we have 5 little small stores all together. We sell women's, mostly girls' clothing. We have a few kids' clothing, and we have a online store that we started first of last year. I guess this is a new year, so it'll be first of 2025.
How does online go for you right now?
Right now, it's doing better, I would say, than somebody starting fresh because we already have quite a bit of inventory. When we put that on the website, it's already a pretty good sized website. I've been thinking about it recently too. It was like if you started fresh, it would be really hard if you didn't have just a lot of inventory and a lot of money. I couldn't see how you would sell, enough to justify having it, which people do, but I would say that a lot of them collapse, pretty quick if they don't have a lot of inventory.
This is a guy looking from the outside, but not knowing anything about women's clothes. Is it very trendy? I would assume it's trendy, I guess, or
Yeah, well, that's where my wife comes in. She's always been a fashionable person. She even when we were dating, she never wore like a regular T-shirt, and I guess she got that from her grandmother. Her grandmother was a teacher, and she grew up real poor, and she went to school and became a teacher, and then she just, I guess where she didn't have a lot of clothes, she would just dress up every day. It didn't matter if she was even going anywhere. If you went over there on a Sunday and she wasn't going anywhere, she'd be dressed up, head to toe. And when Sarah was little, my wife, Sarah, she would take her shopping on the weekends and stuff, kind of instilled that in her.
Yeah.
And she was just a real, I don't know how to say it, but like she felt like you should dress your best to be the best. And that's kind of where Sarah got that from. And I guess what you say is she was born to do it, I guess.
Yeah. When did you start? How long you been doing it?
We started back in 2014. She was going to nursing school, and that's something she had talked about doing for ever since we'd been together. But once she started in it, she hated it, if that makes sense. Like it would be hard to think about something you wanted to do most of your life, and then when you get into it, you just hate it. So,
Yeah.
so I talked her into just dropping out. I've just always believed that you just shouldn't do anything that you 100% don't want to do. I mean, a lot of people do it, for the money, but money ain't everything.
No.
So if you chase what you really want to do, sometimes you can make more money doing that. Sometimes you'll make just a fair amount, but you'll be happy.
Yeah, I looked at it as, my deal was, even if I could just make the same money and do what I do, I'd be okay. But I make a little more and will in the future probably make a lot more. But I looked at it as if I could do something I enjoyed and I didn't like being in the office and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like even if you just make the same money as you would as a nurse or whatever, as long as you can do something you like.
Yeah. And it didn't really matter to me. I just wanted to own my own business of some kind, and I tried several different things, and I'm like, I guess, the backbone of it. I do all the background stuff, and then she, gets all the inventory and picks out things that she knows will sell, and that's important too. I mean, like if I see a lot of these businesses, similar businesses that do the same thing, it's like they're picking stuff that they like only. Everybody's different. She picks a lot of stuff she, wouldn't wear, but she knows other people would. So it takes a lot of studying and, research and seeing what's popular and stuff I couldn't do.
Really, in a business like that, kind of in any of them, but for sure that one is you kind of both. It'd be hard for one person to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
one person usually ain't going to have all those skills and like everything. You know what I mean? You kind of like the nuts and bolts of a business. You know what I'm saying? And she's kind of out there looking at the trends and getting you know what I'm saying? And you both have different interests, but it comes together for a good business.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
It's like time is so, it's so few, there's just not a lot of time. One person can't do all of that. So like I focus on the background, the taxes, and inventory and budgeting and bills and all that stuff. And like she couldn't take on all that. I couldn't take on her job with that too. So it has to be split up. And I think that's where a lot of businesses fail because one person can't do it all.
Yeah, most likely you got one that's working a 9-to-5 job and one's wanting to have their own business.
Yep.
And they go to work and this one's trying to do everything. And if you're doing the payroll and the taxes and all that stuff, it's kind of hard to keep up with all the trends and have a family or what, you know what I mean? So if you split it like that, I can see where it could work out.
You do it all in your business, don't you?
Yeah, I'm talking like it's great. It's hard for one person, but I do everything.
Your dad helps you a little bit, don't he? Just
He runs the dozer, but that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, his knowledge is worth, and it's what's got me up to this point, helping me lay out work. But I'm everything, I'm the mechanic, the complaint department, anything you can imagine in a business, I'm it.
You're the go-getter guy.
Yeah. I'm the gopher. I'm everything.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, as a kid, that's the reason this is sitting here. Always really liked equipment, and I thought Dad ran equipment, and I thought that's maybe he got laid off a lot on coal companies and stuff, and I said, well, maybe I can work for Caterpillar, and be a mechanic, something with like a job security type thing. And so I went to diesel college after high school, and it's kind of good I did, though, because doing my own business, I know how to work on it. And then I worked at Caterpillar for 13 years, so I understand how to, work on it, do payroll. I did payroll stuff. I did quotes and estimates, talked to customers, dealt with employees.
How long did you work there?
13 years.
That's a good span there on it.
And everything, and this is what I'd tell anybody, is everything they offered, I did it. I got my CDLs there, air conditioner certifications. I went to a bunch of, like you come in as an apprentice and then you go to be a shop tech. You got to go so many classes in Louisville. And I done everything. Like I've done 28 classes or something to be a number one technician.
Yeah.
And
but you went to diesel college before CAT, or did you do it during?
No, I went before Nashville Auto Diesel College, and it just kind of laid the foundation. It's just a 14-month. It's like a diploma or whatever. It's not a, 4-year degree or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the terminology, but it's like a diploma instead of a degree or something.
Yeah.
But it really just helped me understand mechanics better. It wasn't like it's such a condensed time. It just introduced you to electrical, introduced you to pneumatics, hydraulics. It just kind of got you introduced to it. And then when you go to a Caterpillar dealership, you come in as a shop tech because I didn't have to come in as like the general utility worker that just drives the forklift or empties dumpsters or something, I come in as an actual mechanic, but they call them a shop tech. And then you can file for those classes and they train you Caterpillars, stuff, everything Caterpillar. So I'd sign up for every class, anything that was available. I'd put my name in it. And I went to Louisville 28 times.
Yeah. So you know your way around Louisville pretty good then.
Yeah, a week at a time. So
yeah,
probably 26 because one of them was in Jeffersonville 1 week and 1 week was in Pikeville. So 26 weeks in Louisville, a week in Pikeville, and a week in Jeffersonville, spread out.
So 13 years, then you started your own business.
Yep.
What made you make the decision?
My daughter was born in 2015. But anyways, they had a big layoff, and I'd always knew Dad. You know what I mean? Dad got laid off 2 or 3 times. I'm like, I didn't want this. I wanted some security, and I kind of always wanted to run something, operate, And I'd operated as a kid and did side work, but so when that happened, it kind of clicked to say, I'm going to do something for myself, So I bought a dozer. And I didn't even have a house yet. We had a little trailer, a little 14 by 48 we bought off of my sister. And I told my wife to give me 3 years to do something, before we have to look for a house or something.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. So she was patient. And for 3 years, we ran that dozer. Dad helped me. I ran it. I got out and
What
got
if she'd
work.
said no?
I'd have probably still done some form of it, but that's, I did good in choosing a partner. I guess that's very important in life, is a partner that will be there for you, help you, encourage you, and be on board with things.
Believes in you.
Yeah, and we talk to each other about it. Some people don't talk to their spouse about it. They think they wouldn't understand. Like, she don't understand how to run a dozer, but when I go to buy something or a piece of equipment, we talk. Mm-hmm. We've talked hours and hours about. I'll tell her what I'm thinking about buying and why, and she'll ask me questions. So even though she don't know a lot, it affects her, because if I sign up for too much debt, it affects the family. So,
yeah.
But I took those 3 years and made it into something. That was probably about October of 2008 when I started. And in 2015, started Caterpillar. And in 2015 is when I started my business. So however many years that is.
So you're going on 10 years?
Yeah. So
you was kind of working a little bit for people while you was working at one.
Yes. Yeah. It was like when I started my business, Dad just ran the dozer for me. And then of the evening, I would get off and run it and haul it and, work on it and move it to the next job and stuff. And then that did good. And I started realizing that's what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
And I just knew, though, I kind of had this checklist wrote down of things as I got into that business, maybe around 2019 or something, COVID kind of years. I had a list to say, when this happens and this happens and this, like 5 major things, I'm going to put in my notice. And I finally did it 3 years ago. I put in my notice. So.
It's tough. Tough moment. Do you miss it?
Not one bit. Now, they were good to me. We had Dairy Queen cakes. They may have been excited I was leaving. I don't know. But they were good company to work for. They trained me. And I actually gave them, I know it sounds goofy, but I gave them like a 6-week notice, because the position I was in was tough to fill. It wasn't like it was super complicated. It wasn't a mechanic position. It was a service coordinator is what I was. And nobody really wanted to do it. The money was a little lower.
Yeah.
And it was an office job, so you didn't get no overtime or anything like that. And so I knew it would be hard to fill. So when I told them about it, I said, in April, I said in 6 to 8 weeks, I'm leaving. And they were really excited about that, because some people will give a 2-week notice and then 3 days later just not show up.
Yeah, they're just not coming on.
Yeah, so they were, and
the way they do me, they'll say, I'll give 2 weeks notice, and then they're sick every day leading up to that.
But I parted ways in a good way, because I'm their customer, or whatever you want to call it. Now, I do work for them. I've put in drainage systems for them. I've bought equipment from them. That's where all my equipment's from. So we have a good relationship.
What's Corey do?
We build and manufacture trailers and trailer axles.
Like mobile homes?
No. And I get a lot of calls. A lot of calls.
We got any trailer axles?
Yeah.
Mine's got 4 big boats.
You got to specify.
Got a 85 model Clayton I need a roof panel for. Sorry, I can't help you. No, we've always built trailers, and Justin used to work for us and kind of done his own thing. And I actually, for a while, when I was younger, I didn't have any interest in trailers at all, which it's kind of a hard thing for anybody to be young, be like, yeah, trailers.
Yeah.
But
there's only so much you can do about them.
Truthfully, I think about a lot. I talk about my wife. She always talks about wanting to go back to college or whatever. In high school, especially when I was going, they just push like college. They don't push any trades anymore.
Yeah.
And, I honestly thought about it. I was like, I wish I could have done a trade or some kind of like thing. If because I went 3 years in college and we dropped out. Like, I don't know. I wish I could have had some kind of something to go off. I got my associates with it, but like you saying, I got that far into accounting is what I went to, and you done it. You got it. It's miserable.
Yeah. You have to be really interested in it.
Yeah.
Well, anything you do, you got to be interested.
Well, what kind of happened too is you remember how like classes were sectioned, like you had to have this class for you had this class. So my freshman year, I literally had 4 mentors. You're only supposed to have one your whole 4 years. I had 4 in the first year. First one broke her leg, second one quit, third one.
Yeah.
So when that happened, by my end of my sophomore year, they tried to start me in accounting, and I was already a semester behind. So then I was literally in accounting 102, and then I was in 3 advanced level accounting classes. Let's just say I flunked all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance. But anyway, I was doing that, and I realized this was miserable, even if I sit and did grind that.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, trailers is a good living. It's people always have a need. That's one thing, you think about like 15 years ago, people were riding 4-wheelers and they was riding motorcycles. Now they're riding side-by-sides.
Yeah.
Maybe in 20 years, they're riding God knows what, aircrafts or something.
Trailers has to change with that, don't it?
Yeah, trailers have to kind of adapt to that.
As long as people are moving, trailers are going to be there.
Yeah.
You can't haul your lawnmower in your car or in your bed anymore. They're bigger than cars now.
Yeah. Well, that's even when I first started the office, the most popular was a 5x10. And now, like, 5x10's useless.
6x12.
6x12, even 6x12s are
Getting
like
a 6x14.
I mean, some of these Can-Ams are 79 inches wide and 13 and a half feet long. You just sit and think about that for a minute.
You got to have a double axle.
You about need a double axle trailer to haul this
like
side by side.
A 16-foot utility trailer is about where you're at. But I would say, being in that business, how many employees you're kind of in the office, so you can kind of do a lot of different stuff. You can kind of work on marketing, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You really don't just do that one little thing. You got multiple things you can kind of pursue while you're there.
It's we're smaller. We try to, I work with me and my dad. My dad's old fashioned. He likes doing things a certain way. It's hard to keep. You gotta have to train somebody. They have to know exactly how to build a trailer. We've talked about it. Like anybody could go and throw a trailer together, but somebody throws their $40,000 side by side on there and it breaks. Like you can't have that.
Breaks while you're going 60 mile an hour.
Yeah, you'll be out of business real quick. So basically, at my job, and I handled pretty much the hiring. I handled the buying the parts, selling the trailers, like the advertising.
What's a typical day like, start to finish?
Man, it is. I will say, and I don't know about you two, but my job, like every day, is different. I do like that about it. You'll meet people, and it's funny. You'll have some people that hope you close down, and then the next day they're like thankful that you even exist. Because we try to carry a lot of the odd stuff parts. And that's a little bit of me. I like having just crazy parts. Like there was an axle brand back in 1995. It's called Alcoa, and they went out of business in 2008. And so people still run their stuff, but they don't make axles anymore. We keep all the parts.
Yeah.
And like
specialized.
You might sell 3 or 4 of it a year, but man, you've got it. Kind of neat. Don't keep a whole lot of it, but just little stuff like that. I would say that, and then we started the axles a couple years ago. That was during the COVID. I don't know about you guys, but COVID was very weird. The stimulus checks came out, and I would say anybody watching here probably didn't save it. Everybody spent it like everybody else.
Everybody was rich for 6 months.
Everybody had money. And it was an awkward time. I can't remember in your business, did you have to close?
We closed for like a month.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be for a year, but it's like by the time we got closed, it was time to open back up again.
So we were in the weird, we're a parts store. So it's essential is what they considered us, even though we just sold like utility trailers. So we just blocked the front door off. So I wish I'd had a picture of there was literally like 10 people in line, all buying trailers that day outside the door. Like can't get in the door.
Yes,
outside.
We're open, but you can't come in.
Yeah, you can come in, and I'm filling titles out at the door at the little thing, And then afterwards,
It was almost drive-through, wasn't it?
Did you have one of them sneeze guards?
Oh yeah, that's
Little
what say
thing.
we's basically outside. Dad had the front pushed so far out.
A lot of them kept the sneeze guards. They decided they needed them.
Yeah, I was in the registration office. That's what made me think of it. They had these weird little things coming out of the drop ceiling, and like you can tell it was like put up really quickly. I've never seen anything hung like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The little strings look like the thing you pull to open a shade.
Yeah.
And they were like screwed up in there, and it's a big piece of plexiglass, and it would like wiggle, when the air would kick on or whatever. And I thought, this is outdated. You should take this down. It's gonna fall and hurt somebody.
It's wild. It's almost like what you do. Like a lot of businesses. I try to focus on being as best as I can with our business. Like you've talked about before with the dozer work, there could be 100 people doing dozer work.
Yeah.
But it seems like there could always be enough room for certain things if you're good enough. And, I think I struggle with that. Like Lowe's sells trailers and Tractor Supply, but they're all sold twice as high. But
Yeah. It's more of a convenience thing, like a gas station.
Yeah.
Like candy bars are twice as high there, but you're there and you.
Well, two Lowe's cards, and you know what I'm saying. Like you could be like, I think I got enough open on my Lowe's card. I'll just get that trailer.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing to think about. All right, you take someone 6 years younger than me, and I've sit and thought about this before. I'm like, how does Tractor Supply? Some of their trailers is $1,000 more than ours, like single axles. You take somebody maybe 5 or 6 years younger than I am that's never been around trailers, they might see a 6x12 and might be worth $2,500, or 28 if you've ever, obviously like the Justin, he could never even correspond that. He's always been around and he knows, too.
Yeah.
But like there could be like that age gap of people that they just go in there and go, oh, 2,800, that's not bad. I'll take one.
Yeah. Well, what I always thought too, even in the business, whenever I worked there, I felt like that was a lot, like a trailer, it's a lot goes into it. Back then it was $1,000. Like, people pay $1,000 for some tires, for a truck. And this thing's got tires, wheels, rolls, and haul stuff. And, they'll buy a $30,000 side by side. And, I feel like the trailer should be worth $5.
Yeah.
To safely haul it down the road and keep from falling apart and killing people.
Well, that's funny. You said that just like dozer work. They'll build a $400,000 or $500,000 house, and you tell them it'll be like $11,000 to do their driveway and this and that, and they're just like, "There's no way.
Yeah,
we don't need 8 loads of gravel.
you
What
don't
are you
need
talking
to get
about?
to it.
Yeah, we don't need that. It's like that's way too much, And then at the end, though, that may be at the beginning. At the end, after they built their house, and they call you back because there's a lot of problems because they just built the house and didn't put a driveway in correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're like, you start talking and they listen better. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds about right because they've been through the whole process and be like, 11 grand wasn't that bad. Now I'm going to spend 20.
I think it's I think about your clothes store a lot, and it's it's weird how it's the opposite. Like you have inventory that you have got to get rid of. Like you cannot keep inventory. Like what would be the longest you can keep inventory? What, 6 months or?
Yeah, you need to get rid of it every season, but some things you can't, and you ain't going to give it away. So usually you can hang on to it a couple of years. But Belk and JCPenney's, I would say they've
5 years at least.
They're pulling out stuff every couple of years to make it look new.
Dude, I swear there'll be an Izod sweatshirt you'll look at and be like, I'll get it next year, and it'll be there.
Yeah, it's still there. If it ain't there, it'll be there next year. I think they spread it out a little, but
I guess what I was getting at is like, let's say even if it's a year or two, right? Like some of we have the opposite thing. Like we can just keep parts because parts are always the same. Like, a final drive for a Cat D5 is always going to be a final drive for a Cat D5.
Yeah.
But it's also, you've been in it too, like you got to keep every little nut and bolt. And I've never, until we started working on some of them, I'd never seen how many parts. Like it is ridiculous how many parts it goes into a dozer. I'd say there's probably 15,000 parts on a dozer.
I don't know. I was part of a certified rebuild, and I was just a shop tech. It barely had done anything. And a certified rebuild, the machine gets a new serial number and everything. So they strip this machine down if it's a good candidate, and they'll strip it down to the bare frame. Every nut, bolt, if there's a boss missing, like where a nut and bolt would go or anything, it gets re-welded back on. They do sandblasting, and then they check all the major welds with a, what do you call it, ultrasonic or whatever, like to see if there's any cracks down in it. And once that means they'll certify it when they do that, like Caterpillar will. They'll have a warranty of like 4 years, 5 years, stuff like that. But like you said, every washer, every spring, everything. Like even just take the hydraulic control valve and set it on his table. It fills his whole table up full of little parts.
Yeah.
All those get gone through. If it's a spring or anything with tension, it gets replaced. Washers can be reused if they ain't like mushroom. Like you have to inspect everything. And there's usually a team of like 3 or 4 people working on that. But here's the thing.
And they did that at Wayne's Bluff.
If you do a certified, if you do say a D11's $2.5 million for a brand new one, or you can have yours certified. It takes a while. You have to do it without the machine a while. You could have yours recertified, they call it, maybe for $1 million or 1.2 for half the price. And you have the new serial number. You have reman everything. Everything's been checked. Transmission, like everything. You know what I mean? And the cab, they take the cab and set it off. New seat, all new buttons, all new gauges, like all of it. And you get the warranty of a new one.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And they done, I can't remember. I thought it was maybe 100 has been done at Corbin. There was probably 30 done while I was there, 20. Felt like it, you know.
It's crazy to think they could do that. You would think that a factory could make it, with all the machines.
I guess one of the things that helps is Caterpillar, I think they had that in mind because like their frames and how everything comes apart is like these big chunks. And if you don't have to have a frame or anything, you see what I mean? You save a lot of money, even though it's a brand new machine. If that's been electronically tested and ultrasound, on the welds and it's good, it's like a new machine on that frame,
Yeah.
So I guess it's like minus a frame because we did have to order one frame once.
Yeah.
One frame for a D11. It broke. Never seen one. It was the weirdest thing. And it was $500 and some thousand for a frame from Caterpillar.